Let's start by the most basic thing. Let's cut some pizza. JavaScript is a language. Don't be scared of JavaScript. JavaScript is very flexible. JavaScript is your friend. It's not magic. Don't be scared of JavaScript. A bit complicated. Quite a bit complicated. Next time we'll start making it a bit prettier. Let's create an array. And to create an array, I use square brackets. And let's insert 3 numbers. So 10, 32. And once I save, the linter kicks in. The most basic thing I want to do is to access a number of the array. So let's console log, and I want to access the first element of the array. So array square brackets to access an array of 0. And if I run index.js, I have 10. So as you can see, very intuitively, the first number of an array is 0, not 1. And the reason is an array historically, but we know in JavaScript they're more like lists, but historically an array was a reference of this first space in memory where the array started, and the number was the offset, so how many bytes should I move depending on the array type. And that's how byte array works in JavaScript. So array of 0 means I want the beginning of the array, so the first element, because I'm not moving towards this stack by X elements. That's why 0 makes sense in computer science, but doesn't make sense in any human way of doing things. Now, we said that array are objects with a length property. So if I console log array.length, I will get how many elements the array has. So 3, as you would expect, which comes automatically that if I want to access the last element of the array, I want to access array length -1. And that's the ugly part. Because of this displacement and the fact that I start with 0 to access the last one, I access length -1. So after a while you get used to it, but that's how you access the last element of the array. Now, what happens if I access something that doesn't exist? For example, array of 10, but I do not have 10 elements. Anything outside of the array will just say undefined. It will not throw an error. It's up to us as developers to be aware that we are within the boundaries of the array. And there are a few reasons why this happens. So first of all, JavaScript allows what are called sparse arrays. So arrays that have missing elements. Now, we said that if I want to access the 10th element here, I say array of 10. But that also means that if I want to assign the 10th element, I can say that array of 10 is equal to 90. If I assign array of 10 as a standard array, it means that I have to stack stuff. So I would expect the length to be 11 because I have 11 elements. But I would also expect the length to be 4 because I actually only push 4 elements. Now, if I run on index, I get 11, and that's because arrays are converted into C arrays. But it's called sparse because I have random elements in the middle, which is something I wasn't able to do with standard arrays where I have to declare the length in advance. So what happens if I say that I want array of 100,000 to be 90? Well, now it's creating 100,000 more elements. Well, 99,997. But you got my point. I can do horrible things with arrays in JavaScript because I can suddenly create a million elements just because I used the wrong index. And yes, performance are visibly degrading. Let's start with the basic methods of arrays. So I have push and pop, which are the two methods that allow me to add and remove from the end of the array. So if I want to add at the end of the array, and I'm gonna surprise you with special effect, I can push a bunny. And now let's console log the array. And as you can see, the bunny has been inserted to the array. Yes, in JavaScript, I can add any type to an array because types are not that relevant in JavaScript. But to give you a full picture, JavaScript normally is converted in bytecode, and the most common JavaScript engine is called V8. It's the one that is used in Node, in Chrome, in Safari, and V8 is typed for arrays. So an array of numbers, especially an array of integer, is very performant. In the moment in which you push a string, it becomes a mixed array, which is slightly less performant. And in the moment in which you add empty spaces, like we're doing before, so you create a sparse array, is create a k-hole, and is the least performant of all array types. Does it matter to you? Probably not. Unless you do heavy array operations, you can consider array as an array and nothing else matters. But if you work with specific operation, then you need to consider also the actual speed of each array operation and the fact that you have arrays which are typed by default in JavaScript. Anyway, lot of story. If you wonder, does push return something? Yes, it does. So let's console log the result of push. And that's the new length of the array. I'm sure there are cases in which you need it. I never had to work with it. So let's go back and let's see what pop does. So pop doesn't need a parameter because I'm just removing the last element of the array. So my new array will not have the last element. And if I want to console log the result, it will be the last element of the array. This is a bit more useful, especially in the old way of writing JavaScript. It's not as used anymore. I can also add and remove from the left of the array, and those are called unshift and shift. So shift is a movement on a side. So if I shift everything, it means that I'm giving less relevance to what is on the left. So the first value will disappear. And if I unshift, it means I'm doing the opposite. This language seems very weird to me, but it comes from the byte-wise operation that, by the way, exists in JavaScript and no one ever does them. Why don't you shift by a binary number when you want to multiply by 4? Just added 0 to the binary representation of a number. It's crazy. Anyway, let's see what happened. Let's go back to console log the array, and I say array.unshift kitten. So as you can see, unshift added an element at the beginning of the array. And if instead I do array.shift, it will remove the first element. And I would say that's it for the basic array methods. I will talk about splice, slice, and all the other methods in another lesson. And now let's go to some pizza.